Hi, Shannon. Thanks for joining us.
Hiya.
Appreciate your time as always. We'll just wait for a couple of questions to come through and then we'll get going.
No problem.
Water pass. So we'll try and get through as many as we can in that time. So Jonathan Nagyoff from Pro Boxing Fans, did you want to start, mate?
Yep, no problem. Hey, Shannon, how you feeling?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thanks. Did you ever believe that in only your 7th fight, having been through what you've been through and sort of, seen your career progress, you'd be in a world title fight?
8th fight.
8th fight.
No, it's all gone really quickly. It's all moved quickly. But the weird thing is that they've moved the fight to the Copper Box Arena, which is where I had my debut, literally just 2 months ago. So I feel like it's a good omen, to be honest. But yeah, it's all been a bit of a whirlwind. But I feel very blessed to be where I am.
How do you think you've come on since that pro debut, and how do you feel you've improved going into this fight on Saturday?
I've got a greater understanding of the fighter that I want to be compared to my debut. I feel like I wanted to impress so much. I was almost looking for the knockout and it never came. And I was loading up and I was still very much a novice. So I was making huge mistakes, and I've learned now the knockouts come when you're loose and, the shot just comes off and you're not looking for it. That's when it comes. So I've learned big things since my debut, and I'll come on a lot inside and outside the rings and then as well, I believe.
Best of luck for Saturday, Shannon. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Jonathan. If we go to Brett from Bad Intentions Boxing, please.
Cheers, Dan. Hi, Shannon. How are you keeping?
Hi, Brett. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Thank you very much. It's great to have the opportunity to speak with you. So I suppose taking that on and going back to the Rachel Ball fight, obviously you came out afterwards and fought Doretta Norek, managed to knock her out. What do you think that you've learned from that Rachel Ball fight about yourself in terms of boxing and actually where you are at?
After the Rachel Ball loss, I kind of took a long, hard look at myself. Then I took myself away from home comforts. I now live in a hotel in a travel lodge near the gym, and I'm in camp, which is splendid. And I just do everything proper. There's nothing's left unturned. All my evening sessions done with my coach next to me as well, not just the daytime ones. So I used to go home and do my running on my own. Now I've got, H or Charlie or Adam or Sally or Asif. Someone stood there next to me, pushing me, or Troy, making sure that I hit numbers. Because before I wasn't doing that, now I am. So there's no stone left unturned.
No, that's great to hear. And my final question that I've got for you is Ebanie Bridges. Obviously, this is only a 6th professional fight. Do you think that your level's above her, or do you think there's an element of that she'll bring something that's unexpected to you?
I think every fighter brings something that's unexpected to me, and that's especially women's boxing. Women seem to fight me and just come flying out the traps. So, listen, she's a tough fighter. Obviously, I've had one more fight than her, so I've got experience in that way. I think I've got experience with the bigger stages, like I've boxed at the O2 before. I've boxed here at the Copper Box. I've boxed in Eddie's back garden. I've done the big nights, so I've got that experience in as well in that way. But I respect her as a fighter, and I think that she's a tough girl, and it makes for a fantastic fight.
Shannon, that's great to hear from you, and I wish you every bit of success for Saturday.
Thank you much.
Cheers. Bye.
Thanks, Brett. If we go to Devinder next from the Boxing Voice.
Cheers, Dan. Hey, Shannon, you okay?
Hi, Devinder. How are you?
I'm good. So what have you seen of Ebanie Bridges so far in terms of 6 fights? There's only 6 fights there. Have you studied most of them?
Sorry, Devinder, you're broken up. Can you say that again?
Yeah, apologies. So what have you studied of Ebanie Bridges so far? There's only 6 fights there on tape. How much of that have you and the team studied in preparation for Saturday night?
Well, she only boxed 4 weeks ago, so obviously I watched that fight. I watched it live in the morning because obviously she was in Australia, so different time zones. And I've watched her a couple more times. She's a very aggressive, come forward fighter. So we've trained for what's going to be a very tough, hard fight. And I feel like if she comes flying out and tries to be aggressive and fight me, then we've got the plan for that. And if she tries to box me, then we've got a plan for that as well. So we've covered every aspect.
Absolutely fantastic. And just going on to Rachel Ball as well. If you do come out the successor on Saturday night, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? You and Rachel Ball. Do you want to revenge that loss? And how soon would you want to do that?
Yes. Obviously, this has been a long camp because there's been postponements. Firstly, because of COVID, and then Rachel again. I do send out my well wishes to her because she got COVID, so she obviously had to pull out the fight, and then Ebanie stepped in. So it's been a very long camp. So obviously after this fight, take some time out to just rejuvenate my mind, my body. So I'm back firing all cylinders. And the next fight that I want after this, when I win, God willing, become world champion, I want Rachel Ball.
Brilliant. Best of luck to you on Saturday night and the team, and may the best lady win.
Thank you.
Okay, if you go to Ames next from Boxing News TV.
Ames here for Boxing News TV. Pleasure to meet you, Shannon. How are you?
Hi, Ames. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Shannon, as someone from Watford like yourself, I've been interested in following your career, your story. It's just seeing your career, your story, and seeing how you got on. But I would like to ask about, it was disheartening to see some old social media posts brought to light, which appeared to target people in my community and others. You did put a statement out covering it, but it was deleted, and some members of the media were pressured not to report on the story. Do you think that was the way to handle and take ownership of those past mistakes?
So some of the stuff that was actually put out wasn't me, it was Photoshop, but some of them were me, and I held my hands up. I can only ever apologise, and I think people that know me now and that knew me back then have seen that I am a different person. I've only ever grown. Who I was 8-9 years ago was a young-minded, ignorant, probably bit of an idiot, massive idiot young girl who didn't know anything about the world, who was drunk most of the time, who had a poor opinion. And now I'm well educated amongst all the things, especially associating with what was said, especially ones that weren't actually me that tweeted them. But because of it, I felt the need to educate myself even more. I'm surrounded by brilliant people now. I changed my life through God, and through God I found boxing, and it's now made me a better person for it. And I'm very lucky that I've managed to change my ways, and because of it, I'm now fighting for world title because I managed to change my ways. And if that's not an example to anybody that anybody can change their life, I don't know what is. Because I wake up every day and I count my lucky stars.
I genuinely appreciate your openness and your response there. What would it then mean for you to win that title on Saturday? What's that feeling going to be like?
It will just mean. I don't think I can put it into words, to be honest. It will mean everything for my family, especially my mum, to see me change my life the way that I have. She's so proud of me because of who I used to be and who I now am. So to be able to kind of come home with a world title and say that I've made you proud now, that would mean everything. And just to work my side off every day, and I have done since I found boxing. So just to achieve my dream would mean more to me than anything you can imagine.
There is a conversation about the fight in terms of how Ebanie Bridges is promoting herself. Do you have an opinion on the way female fighters should promote themselves in terms of furthering the sport?
I said it before. I don't appreciate nor understand the way she tries to promote. I don't know whether it's this fight or just the way that she is, because I look at people like Katie Taylor that has done everything that she could to raise the bar to allow women like me to fight for a living, and to fight for these opportunities to become world champion. And I don't like it being almost disrespected by not talking about the boxing, talking about what someone's going to wear at a weigh-in. What someone wears doesn't define them. I'm a fighter and I'm also a fighting fan. So I want to talk about boxing, not out of boxing. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Thank you for your responses. I wish you all the best of the weekend.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
Thanks, Ames. Go to Steve from Boxing UK, please.
Hi, Shannon. It's Steve from Boxing UK.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm all right, Shannon. Shannon, unless I've missed it, you've kept quite a relatively low profile this time around. Is that a conscious decision because of how important the fight is?
Yeah, I'm just locked in, locked away, zoned in and focused. Nothing can deter my my focus right now. And I've just been working on myself, working hard behind closed doors, and hopefully Saturday night you'll see why.
I think it's safe to say your opponent's been very public on social media.
I genuinely, I don't know. I've heard she has. I don't see it. So,
all right. Just with the build up to this, is it largely pantomime, do you think, or is there a genuine friction there?
I think there's a genuine friction there.
Right, we'll move on. I just took a couple of the things that's been said regarding this fight. Ebanie said, I think the well-known quote that she said this time around is, "You're going to have a face like a smashed crab when she's finished with you." Have you got a response? And how's this fight going to go from your point of view, Shannon?
I had a media outlet say that quote to me yesterday, and I'd never heard. Is that like an Australian saying, a smashed crab?
No idea.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't really understand her analogy, but yeah, crack on, darling. You do you, and I do me.
And how's it going to go, Shannon, from your point of view?
I leave here Saturday night as a world champion.
There you go. Best of luck at the weekend.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Okay, we go to Ron Lewis from Boxing Scene next, please.
Hi, Shannon.
Hiya.
Hiya. With the way Ebanie does promote herself, does it bother you that, you know, you get with this fight, you kind of get lumped in the same sort of thing that people think? There are probably people out there who think the same of you as you know, she pushes herself forward. Do you think that undermines you?
A little bit, because it's like I want people to talk about the fact that it's a fight. Do you know what I mean? I want to talk about the fact that we're two women boxing for a world title. You know, the magnitude of this is huge. It's a world title. Let's talk about that. I don't want to be talking about things that are so mediocre that don't actually matter. Could you imagine, let's be honest, could you imagine Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard discussing what they're going to wear at the weigh-in and the press conference? Like, could you imagine that? It would just never happen. So to me, I'm thinking, is that almost that she hasn't got much confidence in her boxing ability, that she feels the need to discuss that instead? But I'm also in the back of my mind thinking, she's doing all this talking to try and make me think that she's not focused, when I know she's focused. I know she's got her eye on the ball as well as much as I do. So I'm not reading into it too much at all, to be honest. I'm letting it fly over my head.
And you touched on it a little bit, but before the ball fight, what sort of things were you? Because I mean, you're down kind of 2 weight divisions now from where you were then. What sort of were you doing then that you're basically not doing now?
No, I was always training only once at the gym with my coaches, and then I would drive home, and then it's a long drive to the gym every day, and then driving home every day, and then just trying to get your evening session in, whether it be sprints or whether it be weights. And I don't know much about weights neither. So now I'm staying down there, so I've got the constant drive back and forth. My evening sessions, I've got someone next to me the whole time, whether it's weights and they know what they're teaching me, or whether it's sprints or whether it's hills, whatever it is, I've got someone there pushing me every single time, making sure that I get the best out of myself.
You notice the difference in yourself, I take it. Look, a couple of days after the fight.
And it's obviously last camp, it was the first time I'd done it, and I stayed down there, and you saw a big difference in my last fight. And this fight, I can genuinely say, I'm not just saying it because people do say it, this is the fittest I've ever been.
Excellent. Cheers, Shannon. Speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ron. If we go to Jason Fletcher next, please.
Yeah, good morning, Shannon. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Or good afternoon. But yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, apologies. Sorry, it's like one o'clock in the morning, so I've got to keep quiet so I don't wake my kids up.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, you dropped out there for a second. Firstly, congratulations, you and Abby, on the fight. We're very happy that you guys get the opportunity to see it. As an Australian, I'm psyched. But how do you think Eddie Hearn, what he's doing for women's boxing is absolutely phenomenal at the moment? And do you think that you girls need that the trend needs to keep following like the UFC, that one day you girls can actually take over and host your own shows?
That would be
You
amazing.
deserve it.
Yeah, no, that'd be amazing. You know, UFC's really set the bar. I think Ronda Rousey helped that. She set a huge bar, causing a lot of traction. And I feel like Katie Taylor's doing that as well now for women's boxing. So if we can continue to create massive waves in women's boxing, why couldn't it end up where the UFC is?
And just a quick question, your thoughts on 3-minute rounds for women's boxing?
I get slated for saying this, but I actually think we should fight 3-minute round. I do longer rounds in the gym. I prefer it. I think, you know, women, I understand why they don't, because the whole dehydration clause, we dehydrate quicker, so it's more dangerous for women. But it's just a bit annoying. You know, we do 10 rounds, not 12. We do 2 minutes, not 3. But then because of that, women's fights are so full on because it's only 2 minutes. They're very exciting. So you've got to try and see it from both sides of you as well.
Yeah, I agree. And just for a bit of a laugh, smash crab is an Aussie thing. So get a laugh out of that.
Explain to me, what is it?
Oh, basically, you know, you get a crab, you smash it up with the hammer, and it looks terrible. So that's basically.
A nice one, girl. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but basically, it's just a bit of banter. It's nothing malicious. She's just having a crack at you. It's an Aussie thing.
Listen, I already know. Listen, we've been having whatever. Everyone's been saying what they want on social media between me and her. I know there's no facetiousness between it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. No, we're larrikins here in Australia. We never mean any malice. But congratulations to you. You girls deserve this fight. I can't wait to see it. And good luck to the both of you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we've got time for one final question before we let Shannon go. Gail, did you want to ask your question, please?
Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Gail. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm Gail on behalf of Women's Fight News.
Yeah.
Wanted to check with you, Shannon. Obviously, you were originally scheduled to fight Ball.
Yes.
I wanted to ask, did you have to make any changes in your preparation and training because of the change in opponent?
Yeah, obviously I've gone from fighting someone that was very tall to like someone that's near enough my height. But the weird thing was, just before we found out that Rachel had COVID, my sparring partner, who was a man who was a bantamweight, who was 5'11", I think, he dislocated his knee. And I was like, oh no, my sparring partner for like the camp is gone. What am I going to do? And then we found out Rachel had pulled out, and we were like, oh, okay. So it's obviously a lot easier to find sparring partners for someone like Ebanie than it was for Rachel. So that kind of was like, okay, that's not too bad. But we've changed, you know, we're not trying to fight someone tall on cut things like that. So we've changed quite a few, but we've still worked just as hard, if anything harder. And I'm doing everything I can to make sure Saturday night I become world champion.
Well, that leads me on to my next question, because what I was going to say, what makes you confident that on Saturday you're walking away as a world champion?
I'm sure this means a lot to her. I'm sure it does. There's no way it means to her what it means to me. I have put my blood, sweat and tears into this camp, and there's nothing I want more. I made a promise to my mum that I was going to become world champion this weekend, and I'm going to do it. And I'm so fired up. It means everything. And Saturday night, I will not be denied.
Brilliant. I wish you the best of luck, and I can't wait to see you fight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks, Sharon. Thanks to Shannon. Really appreciate your time as always. We'll see you in the bubble later this week.
Cheers, Dan. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, so next up we've got Shannon's opponent, Ebanie Bridges, joining us. So again, if you've got a question,